Hi everybody, Anthony here with Ace's Adventures, and welcome back to West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, in the shadows of Pittsburgh, just about 10 miles to be exact outside of downtown Pittsburgh. With the quarantine and the coronavirus going on, I wanted to find some ways to get creative and produce content for you guys and do it in a way that I think would be interesting. Of course, obviously, the most interesting way to film this property would be to get inside of it. But it was a beautiful day, and I'm going to try to get out at least once a week and get to a property and do a unique spin on it. Just trying to find ways to keep giving you guys some sense of distraction from what's going on in the world today. So we are back here. I filmed this last week, and I want to give you an update on the condition of the property. Just going to talk and pop in and out here about what you're seeing and what I think is going to happen to this property. The first thing that I was surprised about walking around the exterior of this place is there is no security. I don't know if that's because of the COVID epidemic and they're cutting back. I knew that for a little while there was some security that was patrolling the property, but I was here for over an hour and made the full rounds. I did not see anybody at all around this property. What I did see was people, as you'll hear in a little bit, riding some dirt bikes up and down the escarpment behind the mall, and also saw a couple of teenagers hanging out in a Jeep. I'll just leave it at that. So this place is such a special place to me, and this is a place that I will hopefully get a chance to see the inside of. My gut feeling, I'm 50-50 about what I think is going to happen to this property. Either it's going to sit and rot and become the next Rolling Acres, as it's currently doing now. I mean, obviously it's in nowhere near the shape that Rolling Acres was in at the end of its lifespan. It still is intact for the most part. There are reports of mold and whatnot, but I believe that there is some mold in the property, but I know that it's probably not that bad. It's probably overshadowed. I don't think it's that bad yet. It will get that bad if leaks are gathering even more than they were so when the mall was open, but I don't think it's to that point just yet. Obviously, the plants inside are dying because there's nobody watering them. So either this property is going to sit and eventually be broken into, unfortunately, and it's going to go through the natural progression of decline and decay and whatnot, and this is a massive property. You guys know from my multiple videos of this place just how big this location is, and so it's either going to sit and rot or they are going to tear it down. Now, I would probably say that I would 100% lean towards it sitting and rotting. However, there are some signs of progress around the area that make me believe that the township would put pressure on Moonbeam Properties, Slumlord Moonbeam Properties, by the way, to do something with this property, or maybe default on it and just declare eminent domain or whatever they'd have to do to take over the property, because the old Toys R Us in front of the property is being rebuilt and the area is going through some transformation. So, by the way, I want to mention I came across this here: a freshly worn pair of shoes, a lock, a cell phone charger, and a backpack. So I don't know what that was about, but I didn't stick around to find out too long. I don't know if somebody was obviously squatting back there. You can see here, unfortunately, some dumping is starting to occur. There were multiple TVs and trash that were dumped behind the property. You're going to see an old a basket from Dick's here. That was behind the mall too, so it's really unfortunate to see what is happening to this property. So I'm going to pop in and out a few times here. I want you guys to enjoy a lot of the natural sounds, just the quietness and really the eeriness around the mall, just to get a real idea of the silence. So I'll pop back in here throughout the video and give you guys some information. So moving along here, you can see all the trash that is collecting around the outside of the property, and in a second you're going to hear some dirt bikes right about now. So you can hear there are dirt bikes that are around this property, so another sign that security is not really keeping an eye on what's going on. Now right here to the left, this shot right here, that looks like it used to be a doorway. If anybody knows what that used to be, let me know, because it lines up like it used to be a doorway, and I wonder if it was modified at some point. This mall went through several cosmetic changes. The overall general structure was the same, but some of the fountains and stuff were taken out and replaced with that miserable carpet. As Dan so eloquently put it in his video 4 years ago, it looked like horse urine on the floor in the carpet. But this place is properly secured, as far as I could tell. It is boarded up very well. They, for some weird reason, have painted some of the secondary doors. So in a lot of the entrances to the mall here, you have the main doors and a second set of doors, and some of them were painted over, I guess, maybe to hide the condition of the mall inside. But it looks like nobody has been inside that I can tell. Now, approaching here on the right, you just saw a clip of it in the shot there. The parking garage is actually being held up by steel beams, and it's been that way ever since I can remember first going to this mall, I think about 3 years ago. You're going to see here in a second. You can see just how bad a shape this parking garage is in. I mean, this probably could give out at any moment, I guess. I mean, it's been that way for several years, but I know that I passed through this very quickly and did not want to be under this for very long. So it's funny to see this mall so quiet. It's kind of like a double shot of eeriness. So you've got the mall being dead, and you have the eeriness of what's going on with the COVID pandemic right now going on. And by the way, live unedited audio, it is currently storming outside, so that also adds to the eeriness as my door just slams shut. So really getting the vibe here of what the mall felt like. This area, West Mifflin, it doesn't feel like too bad of an area to me. If you're local and you know this area pretty well, let me know what your thoughts are on this area and what some of your reasons you think why the mall declined. I know that this area is extremely over-malled, and that has a lot to do. I think that has something to do with it. And I don't know. It really sucks to see this property the way that it is, and I hope that something good comes out of it. But I think we all know what's going to happen to this property. This is by far the biggest empty dead mall that I've been involved with since I started the channel. So if this place is going to rot and it's going to sit, and people are eventually going to break into it and it's going to break down, it's going to become a shit show, for lack of a better term, with people just getting in. This place is so massive. It's going to be a looter's paradise. I mean, I pray that it doesn't come to that, but I just have a bad feeling that it's going to sit and rot, and as long as Moonbeam owns it, they're collecting tax revenue on it. So Back again here now as we are on the Sears loading dock area, and you're going to see something rather interesting here in just a second. There was a blue van here, which I thought at first was a security vehicle, but as you're going to notice in a moment here, you probably can't see it in the video, but I will tell you there is no plate on the front or the back of the vehicle, and the registration tags were expired on us. So I don't know what's up with that. If somebody just dumped it there and thought they could get away with it, if it's a decoy to try and make people think there is security in the building. But I don't know what was going on with that. That was a really weird thing to see. And like I said, I saw no signs of anybody other than those kids that were screwing around in the Jeep, which I think might make a cameo from a distance in a second here. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the outside. I know, again, it's being in the mall is better, but I had my mom with me. We wanted to get out of the house. We really are trying to beat this quarantine and try to stay safe. And I hope you and your family are staying safe as well. To continue following this channel and help me grow, I ask if you consider becoming a Patreon donor to help fund the channel and future explorations at patreon.com/acesadventures. And as always, please make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at acesadventures1. I am very interactive on all of my social media platforms. And also consider joining the Dead Malls of Discord, where some of the greatest creators are there. Sal from the X-Log series, my buddy Jack from Retail Apocalypse, and the up-and-coming Kristen from Unicom Productions. Look out for her, folks, because she is a force to be reckoned with. Very, very, very talented creator who deserves way more subs than she currently has, and we are going to help her get to that plateau that she so rightfully deserves. So be safe, be well, enjoy the rest of the tour. There is going to be weekly content for as long as I can keep it up. I'm going to do my best. Me and Sal, just particularly, and a couple others, are pushing each other to put out new content every week and try to give you guys something positive to distract you from the craziness of the world right now. So this is Anthony with Aces Adventures. As always, everybody have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be back soon with more mall content.